Straight talk from Israel. You're listening to Israel News Talk Radio.
Hi everyone, this is Orly Benny Davis and this is from Jerusalem with Love. Today is September 2nd, 2020 and we are here in Israel, the Holy Land, the only land in the whole world, counting our blessing for the peace agreement with United Arab Emirates, hoping that it's a start for a new page with all the Arab world. The outstanding welcome that they gave our messenger of peace was overwhelming. May God bless this peace with much friendship, grace, and cooperation for a better tomorrow. And more, we have a new peace accord in the world. In Sudan, finally, we see the wheels are turning in the right direction. We may be on to something, guys. For all that we all going through, it is amazing that the accomplishment of President Trump. You know, President Trump, you rock. Finally, we have a real operational administration that makes this world a better, start establishing goal and going for it. I hope that God will bless everything that you're doing with Secretary Pompeo, that is outstanding and working so hard, like those Secretary of State that remember from the good old days. So God bless you all. And more, we can see France leading the way in helping Lebanon, establishing a new government, a new prime minister. It might be a good neighbor after all. But we don't know about Hezbollah yet, but we'll have to pick up, one side, one part at a time. We are all together in this, remember, and it might be long or might be short that we all come to the same page and understanding that we all live in this incredible world, that it's not that big, but it's worth living and worth making better. So stay put. We're going to go to a break right now. And I hope that we're going to have a wonderful show that you can share and enjoy. Stay put. We'll be back.
Israel is located in one of the most volatile areas in the world. Israel is an island of stability in a sea of war and unrest. In the midst of this turmoil, Israel stands out as a beacon of order and human progress. Each week we update you on what's happening in this, the Jewish state, a true light unto the nations. This is Jay Shapiro. Join me every Thursday on Israel News Talk Radio.
And we are back. It's Orly Benny Davis, and this is from Jerusalem with Love. We want to welcome all our friends from United States, from Israel, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Philippines, Netherlands, Finland, Puerto Rico, and Australia. Thank you all for listening. I know that there are others that are in Nokia, they are hiding up, but it's okay. We'll fill them in as they come. Now, I want to start with incredible grace to thank Canada for the outstanding work that Alberta government is doing. They produce a show called Heartland, a show about a ranch and horses and about humanity, about kindness and caring, a story that, capture my imagination, and I know it's so real and it's so true that I love you, Canada, for doing such an incredible job, giving us back some kind of humanity. After for so many years we've been pounded with Hollywood horror stories, with killing and tortures and everything that you can imagine. Finally, Canada getting out, and it's shining like there is no tomorrow. Heartland for me can be, awarded the show of the year this 2020 because they are doing incredible jobs. So God bless you all for that. More of that, Germany. I saw that the ambassador from Lebanon becoming the prime minister. So I guess you got a really good job there. So good for you too. And Australia, I saw the report about the economy. Everybody is going through a bad side now. There is no magic. Australia, you've been going up for so many years. This challenge just will show how strong you are because you will overcome it with color, God willing. And I bless you and I hope for you. Then for the whole world, we all in this economic mess. Nobody got spared in this one. So let's talk. Let's talk about why we are in this incredible situation, the coronavirus. And anybody who can talk about, like the shortcoming of the government, nobody could predict it. Yes, it's not an excuse. The medicine that, the medical field and people that in charge of the medicine in general, they knew about it from the beginning of 2019, and there wasn't really a big voice. They don't have a big lobby. They don't operate within the system. They just come and they say whatever they say every time there is a crisis or something. But so for them not to give us a heads up, it's a shortcoming, but it's okay. For many years, I was talking to many doctors in general, told them why you guys are never on the table when there is a decision-making process, why you leave us alone, why you don't take care of the medical field through the lobbying. You cannot just lobby medicine, and Donald Trump did a great job reducing the cost. Finally, I remember in 2004 campaign, we were all talking about the cost of the medicine, and nobody could reduce it. Nobody could buy it from elsewhere. And now there is a work in process that will reduce the cost for medicine for all. That's incredible. Now, what this coronavirus means to all of us is a check with God Almighty. If you like it or not, people say, oh, no, it's dependent on us. No, it doesn't. You wish to be, God, maybe? No, it cannot be even imagined to be controlled by mankind. Of course, contaminated can be contained if, you know where it's going. But the virus is so wild that it spreads so thin all over, so you don't know who's going to get hit next, right? So it's all a juggle that we all face, and it's a Russian roulette. Somebody will get sick. And for all those victims that lost their life, God bless them all, it's really hard for all the families. But what we learned, it's like this is a call from heaven to check our ways. Now, if the environment is not right, okay. Pollution, that it's pollution in China is incredible. It's not possible that people live in that condition, and the world is not saying anything, or United Nations doesn't call them to act upon it. It doesn't mean that we can overlook it for more years. We need to take care of business. What about the justice system? How many people are thrown in jail that are innocent? Of course, we have incredible writing in America, where it started with a real issue, and then it became a revolution, and it became a domestic terrorism, something that we all know that we need to come to grip with that. that they're terrorizing people, because people that hitting people in the street just because they are white or whatever, or they're Jewish or they are Christian or whatever, it means that they are losing control. And it's all in democratic state, of course. So that excuse does not allow them, yes, the justice system needs to be reformed. There is no question about it. I know that the terrorism around the world created a police force that is stronger than ever, more, his audacity is more than ever felt, and people are sometimes victims, and we need to stop it. So I guess that they need to start reconsidering what task force to send in the street, and you don't send, incredible Rambos around just trying to show how strong they are. Okay, so we have that one too. And the justice system in general needs to pay attention, because they have God Almighty to talk to. No, because justice is within of the system, the Supreme Court, and they need to make sure that you don't announce any frivolous. And that was taken for years. How many frivolous cases, how many people innocent got robbed of all their being? How many cooperation of lawyers with people that get evicted, get banks and everything? You guys know that the system was rotten, okay? Because abused most of people. Not for nothing, there are a lot of rich people, but many more people that are poor got robbed of everything, and it's the system. So there is a call from God. It's called the Corona. You need to make sure that you do the right thing. Now, here in Israel, we have a story, a very awful story, that state like this. They're Charedim, there is a stream of religious right that like to go to Ukraine to celebrate the New Year and on the grave of the rabbi. Now, there is a story about Moses. Let's take it to Moses, the highest authority of a messenger that had direct contact with God, okay? There is nobody else that had direct contact with God but only Moses, right? And when he brought the Ten Commandments with that, he knew that, that this is the rule of law that God wants us to live with to be a balanced world, right? Now, when Moses died, his resting place was never mentioned. It was never mentioned, and we don't know where it is. And the reason for that is because God did not want anybody else to go there and worship him or cry to him, because there shall not be any God upon God himself. You should understand that. You can have a messenger that bring you the world or wisdom or understanding of the spiritual world, but there is always one God, and you need to remember. And all those people wants to celebrate the new year, where you have the verdict of life or death by God Almighty in that new year. And Yom Kippur is the one that your verdict is sealed. You don't go and worship your prayer among graveyards. Of course, this is like the devastation of the dark side, but not more this. If it's a rabbi, you don't make the rabbi stronger than God. And why they don't get it? And anybody in the world, we need to understand, from all religions, stop thinking about those messengers as God Almighty. You cannot. Any man is man, flesh and blood. There were so many great men, so many great prophets. They all died and gone, and there was nobody else but God after that. And it will be nobody else but God after that. So please, anytime you approach, holy site, when you come before God, stop talking on the phone. Sometimes, yesterday I saw somebody answering the phone before the Torah, and I was like outraged. But I'm not outraged that with the people. people are innocent because they didn't get that study. But I'm telling you from my heart, when you put anybody else before God, when you pray, pray only to God. Don't think about yourself. When you go to shul, stop talking. If you want to talk, go outside. You don't waste God time. It's not just coming and disturbing the other people. You're also insulting God, and that is unacceptable. So we're going to go to a break. It passed soon. The next segment, we're going to have a guest, God willing, and we're going to talk about other stuff, okay? So we'll talk to you after that.
The Tamar Yona Show.
Tamar? She's sassy.
She's smart.
She's funny.
But she's also a real Jewish mother.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tamar Yona. And yes, I can be all of those things. But at Israel News Talk Radio, I'm here to bring you the news stories and guests that you may not hear anywhere else. Join me live on air Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays for the most unique and bold talk radio in Israel.
The Tamar Yona Show.
The return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel was prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago and is coming true today. Shalom. Join me, Josh Wander, on Israel Unplugged. Listen in as we delve into the spiritual and physical aspects of the Jewish return to Zion. We'll discuss the biblically mandated, historic, and of course practical understandings of this incredible transition from exile to redemption. That's Israel Unplugged, every Monday on IsraelNewsTalkRadio.com.
Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Did you know this psalm and many others were composed by a Jewish shepherd and musician who later became a king? Would you like to know some of the inner meanings of psalms to help you connect with God and strengthen your soul? An exciting and easy-to-read book is now available which will help you do just that. Software for the Soul, Psalms for Everyone, available on Kindle, Audible, and Amazon.com. Software for the Soul.
Modesty at the beach? It isn't just about body image. It's about feeling good. Modest swimsuits, so we don't get burned by the sun.
So we won't get ogled by strangers.
So we'll feel free to express ourselves without the need to expose ourselves.
Let Marcy Modest help you to cover up what you want, how you want.
Made in Israel.
Visit marcymodest.com. That's MARSEA modest.com.
And get a 10% discount on your first purchase.
And we are back. It's Orly Benny Davis, and this is from Jerusalem with Love. We have a dear friend from Holland, and I know that there are people in the chat room that are waiting to hear you. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Shalom, מה שלומך?
Thank you, very well. How are you? It's so good to have
fine.
you. Guys, it's amazing. Been a while since we spoke. And you mentioned something that antisemitism that is rising in Holland. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, it's rising in Holland, but actually I feel very sad about the murder of Rina Schnurp. I'm not sure if I pronounce it sure, the daughter of Rabbi Ethan Schnurp, who was murdered August 23 by terrorists. And I feel so sad because the terrorists are paid by our Minister of Foreign Trade and Development, who is married to a Fatah terrorist. And this makes me feel so sad and ashamed about my government, that they pay the terrorists who kill Israeli girls, boys, fathers, sons. And that's something I wanted to express my sadness with you and the people who listen to your show, and also with the people from Israel.
Yes, first of all, thank you for that. And yes, for some reason, rabbis are the easy target, but because they carry God's, symbols on them, the yarmulke and everything, they are well recognized. It's not easy to be a Jew anywhere. And Holland had been always a free country and a good country for us all. It's a little surprising that they are not, they're not keeping it safe from those goons that wants to attack anybody, and especially people for excuse of religion. Something that is deplorable.
Yes, and the anti-Semitism in the Netherlands is getting, not only the anti-Semitism, hate against Jews, hate against Israel, it's in all institutes nowadays. For example, many people know I'm volunteer in Tzva Al Israel, IDF, and now Youth Protection in the Netherlands says that because I work in for Tzva Al Israel, I'm a danger to my son. I cannot see my son. And this morning I found out that Youth Protection is calling my friends, everybody I know, and telling them that I am a dangerous influence for their children because I am a volunteer, SARL volunteer in IDF, Tzva Al Israel. So that's what I mean. In the Netherlands, it's going very wrong. We used to have many people who love Israel and do everything for Israel, and it's changing in a very high speed.
Listen. When somebody is trying to tell you something or tell about you, you have to face the music and tell them, guys, this is me. Whoever tells you other story doesn't matter. I'm working hard, and I'm a politician too. You have a future in political arena, if I don't mistaken. You're going to be, you're working for the people always, and you're standing up for the weak. That's something that Holland needs to be proud of and not attack you. And whoever knows people, all the work that you've done for the last few years, it's so incredible. They should respect that. So stand tall. You will overcome this. You'll be okay. Good people needs to stand up for the bad. If not, the bad will win. Nothing we can do about it.
Yes, that's true. No, of course I will. I'll go on with my life, but I never expected that there's so much hate in the world against Israel, and especially not from the Netherlands. So, well, I hope that I can change it. So I'm doing my best.
One day at
Israel.
a time.
Also,
one day at a time, Daniel. It's really good. But tell me something else. How is the situation and the coronavirus? How are you handling it all there?
Yeah, we have not so super strict rules in the Netherlands. You cannot. For example, I just went to a bar, and I wanted to buy a drink. But when you go to a bar, you have to register. But we don't have to walk outside wearing a mouth cap. We have to wear it in the public transport. Actually, it's not so very strict. But I heard you talking about the coronavirus being something, to make us think about God.
It's good. We don't know how contagious it is, but we know people get sick, and you don't know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. You just have to be safe. So, keep your guards up. Be safe. We love you, Daniel. We need you. So be strong, be safe. It's important. Your work is just started. So we're counting on you. Now, what do you think about the peace accord with the United Emirates?
Oh, that really pleases me because I also noticed that there will be a synagogue from Chabad opening there, and that pleases me very much because I have many friends in Chabad. It pleases me very much to see that people always think, well, all Muslim states, Islamic states, will forever hate Israel, and it's not true. You can, when you have good policy, good foreign policies, you can really reach out to each other and make a good future. And so, it really fulfills me with joy and happiness.
I think that something changed because we have like different objective right now, and the United Emirates really like to evolve. They decided to be a good country. That's why they united forces, and they are sending they send the shuttle up to the moon, I guess, and then they are working on technology. They are building like crazy. It's a beautiful site, and they are so humble, and they welcome the people there so nice. We were really excited and humbled by that. It was overwhelming. Thank God for that.
Yeah, I think it's going not only good with the United Emirates, but also with other countries like Sudan and other countries in Africa that Israel is getting new, very good connections with. So that's very nice for Israel, but also for the world. What's good for Israel is good for the world.
Because maybe it's something new. You see, that's what I'm saying. That's when the wheels of, are changing to the right direction, because Sudan just made a peace accord inside, because they were fighting like crazy. Remember Darfur? There are like 3 million people dispersed there, and they need to go home, and they finally start. And if America will relieve that terrorism supporting country, they might get some funding, and they get some people to invest in there, so they can start generating, income, the good economy, peace accords. You see, sometimes God put us in a corner that we need to have. There is only one way out. You can go through it, and you find yourself. We said, okay, so let's make peace. Why not? We didn't try that one.
Yeah, that's very good. And I also think that I want to thank one very good, young, promising politician in Israel. It's Tony Reichler. He's doing a very good job for Israel in South and Middle America. I really want to thank him here on the radio for his amazing good job for Israel.
Oh, that's nice. Can you repeat his name, please?
Yeah, it's Tony Reichler. It's a really promising young man.
And what does he do? And what does he do?
He works for Likud. He works for Likud for South America and Middle America, or Latin America. Yes. I don't know how you say it in English. And he makes very good bonds between those countries and Israel. I want to thank him for this. He's doing a very great job, and I'm not sure if people in Israel are aware of what this man is doing and will be doing in the future.
I'm gonna check him out, and I'm gonna put lights on him, hoping to see more of his work, because I will definitely. Thank you so much for sharing this, because we have so many good messengers in the world, and they all keep it quiet and keep it to themselves because they know it's their duty, it's their mission in life, and they are not asking for thank you, but sometimes we need to get together and straighten each other and saying, hey, you did a good job. So today I'm telling you, Daniel, you're doing a great job, and we're all so proud of our friends in Holland, and I hope that your friends can recognize what a great job you do there. And I'll make sure that Tommy Reichler get some recognition over here, God willing, of course. Now, and is the skies of Holland will be open to Israeli soon, or it's out of the question?
No, I don't think so. No. Now all countries are getting code orange, and when you have code orange, you can go nowhere. So no, it's not opening soon. No.
Okay.
So
maybe next year. It's better they fix their mess they cooked here, with all these elections and the incredible budget deficit. Anyway, we are running out of time. Daniel, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate. We love you. I hope to talk to you soon. Keep on the good work. Do great as usual. Thank you so much for coming, Daniel.
Likewise to you. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you. So we're going to go to a break, and after that, we're going to wrap it up and talk about the rest of things that we didn't catch up with in this segment. All right?
In a time where feelings have become fact, where rational thought and common sense has disappeared, one man stands above it all.
I'm Howie Sobiker, your political hitman.
Political Hitman airs every Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. North American time, 7 a.m. Israeli time, only on Israel News Talk Radio.
Are you interested in transforming your life, drawing closer to the Creator, and uncovering the deeper meanings and hidden treasures in the Hebrew Bible?
Then join me, Rav Yitzhak Michelson,
and me, William Hall,
on The Science of Kabbalah, where we are seeking to narrow the gap between what we understand of our physical and spiritual worlds. So make sure to tune in every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Israel time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Israel News Talk Radio.
And we are back. It's Orly Benny Davis, and this is from Jerusalem with Love. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us here. It's always a pleasure talking to you. What a great spirit. Now, let's wrap it up. What we have? We have Lebanon that has a new prime minister, and according to Macron, the president of France, he says that Hezbollah is a part of the government, but it needs to be disarmed. That's a new thing. If you disarm Hezbollah's, military side, and the Lebanese army become a Lebanese army and doesn't have two segment, one of terrorist organization, Hezbollah, and you have one, terrorist organization gets back to be a normal people and start resisting, I don't know, whatever. And if they have a problem recognizing Israel, too bad. We're here to stay. But, it's important for you guys to remember that if we don't make it together and we don't push together for to Lebanon to become a liberal, democratic country, the guns will still be there. The terrorists will still be there. So Mr. Macron, please do a good job. And whoever, you put this prime minister or whatever organization that they're going to have, get them professional. And remember Carlos Ghosn that is in Lebanon right now, the CEO of Nissan and Renault. Please put him on. He is a good guy, and, you need to fix something with Japan. Now, talking about Japan, there was a typhoon running around there, and it's about to hit around that area today. I don't know if it's in between Japan and another country, but we need to keep our prayer for them because typhoon is still act of God. Fire is act of God, like it happened in California from a thunderstorm that was with no rain but only lightning that created such a fire. So when God shows you, we don't like what you're doing again and again and again, and we are stubborn. And more of that, the incredible news that nobody pay attention to is on Temple Mount. There was one of the pavement, the grounds with there was a hole that got in the middle there. One of the pavement fell down, and there is prophecy in one of the books in the Bible that's saying that, the water will gush out. So I don't know if it's starting to act up too, because they took over the holy site of the Jewish people, because God of Israel gave us the title to watch over the holy sites for the rest of the world. And if somebody else put his hands on it, when it's numb and, it's not coming to real, the world is still struggling, maybe it was quiet. But if it start moving, it's the pavement there, I wouldn't recommend going on. And, I know that everybody wants to go on Temple Mount, especially on Yom Kippur. And if you ask the Jordanian how the heck they don't allow the Jewish people pray on the only holy day that is matter the most to the whole world, the Yom Kippur, for the Jewish perspective, I don't know. I cannot tell you that you have an accord. According to the peace accord, we have the right to worship, or the right to freedom of our gods. And you're taking a hold of our side, and then you tell us not to pray there. That's abdication of our rights. And I really, really feel bad that nobody from the Likud party have ever stood up for this, and for some reason they will do anything, accords with anybody, but they will give up their own rights to be close to God. How can you manage that? Just to task, even to give up your holy side. That's why I don't understand Kirchner when he does all these accords. He says that the East Jerusalem, the United Emirates say that they believe the Palestinian will be with East Jerusalem as the capital. I think that this is like incredible disagreement with the fact that the Embassy of America just moved to Jerusalem, making Jerusalem the capital of Israel. How can you even think about having a capital that is divided? And it's not. Jerusalem will never be divided because it's the city of God, and you cannot divide God. That's something that I know for sure. Even though many people wants to run the way God, to tell the world that they only one that can manage God, like a Muslim or any other religion. It's like, if we are not there, no, Muslim. They say if there is only one God and he's our God, and the only way to worship is the Muslim way, if not, you're infidel, and kill them all. No, well, not. It's not. So, and the proof of the matter is that you can worship your God, you can worship God Almighty in any way you want. It's your business, but we are adhere to the rules of law of Moses. And that's why I call upon all you to concede the Temple Mount, because that hole in the ground just resemble what can happen. And I'm not gonna warn you again and again that you are messing with God's will. Now, there is fires, there are hurricanes, there is typhoons, there is corona. What do you want God to make to you all, or to us all, if you don't get the signs? What can people say? I went down the elevator the other morning with a lady that she's liberal, of course, and I said to her, God will, it will be okay with the corona. And she said, no, not God. I said, God is in charge. What you guys don't understand. Now, can you think that can scientists control it? Here, this is your proof. This science worth nothing because you cannot control this element. And let's assume that it surprised you. Okay, how long it takes you to, once you get one victim, the disease, you analyze it. If you don't have the medicine, you don't know the production, you don't know how it stopped, how worthy is your medicine or your science if you are worthless for a year? It means that you need to go back to the scratch room, remember who is the boss, and start talking to God in order for you to understand that there is a solution that is different. He doesn't want us to be the way we are anymore. He wants us to change. It means that you be nice, you be kind. And I'm telling you all, Canada produced this incredible Heartland series. And this is a series that will teach you how to behave, how to be normal, how to create a world of happiness around animals. The horses there are incredible. The ranch, of course, is beautiful, but the kindness of people to other kindness and mistake and how they take care of people, God bless you guys, Canada. I love you, Alberta, for what you did. It's amazing. And we need to take a page from anybody who can give us a good example. And I need you guys to show up for the play. And the good guys need to come on. And yes, they make a lot of noise, those bad guys. Oh boy. Look what the Democrats are doing in America. Every Republican is working hard, and then there is Democrat with all this big noise, making them, making them fight for no reason. They just don't want Republican to win because they are not the one who rules. They need to rule. It's like in their blood. They are entitled. Those Democrat entitled one are the one that neglect and actually abdicate the rule of law and order, and they are giving in to revolution. And if you click Antifa.com, you find the Biden site. It's like maybe it's not them, but maybe they want the Antifa wants to know that they responded to that to Biden, and more of that. If you go to the Muslim or Palestinian site, you'll find member of Congress on this incredible movement to uproar. All those Democrats created only a war, because if you fight, if you are such a bad sportsman, you will understand how bad it is for the world to have Democrats running the show in America. So I'm counting on you, American, because I know who you are. I love you all, and I know what you're made for. Doesn't matter what color you are. The good guys are good guys. The bad guys needs to go. And it's about time we're wrapping up this show now. But just remember, there is a God, and it's not us, and He gave us notice. This is the red flag. Please. Buckle up. It's not gonna be easy. And make sure that you're doing right. Be ready for that Judgment Day on Yom Kippur. All the best, and God bless, and we'll talk to you next week, okay? Be good. Just pray to God that we overcome this coronavirus. And God, please forgive us all, because we are dumb sometimes, right? God bless you all. Be good. Ciao, ciao.
Where can you get the inside news on Israel? At Israel News Talk Radio, we're dedicated to sharing Israel's inside story with the world by providing our listeners with news on Israeli politics, current affairs, and Israeli Jewish culture. The Israel News Talk Radio homepage also provides you, the listener, with useful information at your fingertips, with scrolling news headlines, weather, currency exchange, Shabbat candlelighting times, and so much more. Our radio programming is always accessible and on demand. We operate absolutely free of charge for everyone, everywhere. If you love what we do, partner with us now by becoming an Israel News Talk Radio supporter. With your support, you'll be inscribed on our Israel News Talk Radio Wall of Fame. There's nothing like us in the world. Be part of something great. Israel News Talk Radio. Straight talk from Israel.
Howdy, this is Rita from League City, Texas, now living in Israel. And though my heart may have belonged to Texas, it now belongs to Israel and all the fantastic show hosts at Israel News Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Michael Solomon from Kiryat Arba, Israel. And why do I love listening to Israel News Talk Radio? Because I love listening to the interesting interviews they do and their news reporting that most other media sources don't cover.
Hey, this is Nicoleko from Malmö, Sweden. It gets pretty cold here in Sweden, so I love cuddling up with a warm cup of tea while I listen to Israel News Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Frank Morris from Tennessee. Me and my dog Buster really love listening to Israel News Talk Radio.
You're listening to Israel News Talk Radio.
News, opinion, and more. You're listening to Israel News Talk Radio.